Hi, my name is Philippe and I help people with chronic pain with holistic solutions. So one of the things I want to share with you here is about breathing. And I've worked with yoga instructors, musicians, and people who are belly breather. And I want to share with you three types of breathing. Not that one is better than the other, but sometimes there's a reason why you could use another one. So you have the belly breathing, and it's really like, some people do a belly breathing with the belly in. The second is diaphragmatic breathing. So that's right here between the rib cage and the belly. It's where your rib cage and the belly meet. Under that you have an umbrella shaped muscle called the diaphragm. It kind of looks like that. It separates the lungs from the organs. And when you breathe from here, it looks a bit like this. You can expand the rib cage and the belly, but you're gonna try to expand a bit further from here. This one is a bit tricky for me. Each one of you will have one that you are better at. And the chest breathing, well, you puff up the chest like a puff of fish, right? And you collapse, you let it go in. So whenever you have the belly, the diaphragm, or the chest breathing, you activate different muscle. And it could be very useful if you have neck pain, for example, to play a little bit with chest breathing. Here is how you would look. Some people might look like that with belly breathing. You might have, let's say, a job at a desk and you're fatigued because you do a lot of hours. So you might have that position. And people will say like, well, you're gonna correct it with your posture. And I don't necessarily buy onto that, but it's another story for another post. But if you are breathing with the belly, you're gonna stay in that position. If you start breathing with the chest, the angle of the neck and the rib cage will change. And that might make the muscle position in the front and the back of the neck muscle change, and the joint position in the vertebrae change. And it's not so much that this is better, it's an option. Sometimes your system is fatigued and needs another option, so that something else gets fatigued while the first is recovering, and then after you alternate back. And that's the message here with those three types of breathing: diaphragmatic, chest, and belly. It's sometimes some of them can help with a purpose. The diaphragmatic breathing, I really like using it when I'm anxious and stressed. Breathing from a diaphragm, I've done deep breathing from a diaphragm for a year. I did it like a whole year, and I was able to get into very deep meditation. At first I was just falling asleep. Meditate and fall asleep, that means you need to sleep. But meditate rested, you can get into a deep state of very subtle movement, but you can expand a little bit more the sensation and some thoughts. It's another story for another post also. But when you have the diaphragmatic breathing, you can eventually yawn, and that's the relaxation of the diaphragm muscle here. So yawning is not a bad thing for you. It's pretty okay, and animals are doing it, we're doing it, and there's nothing wrong. Maybe your teacher will throw a chalk at you and say like, stop yawning, it means I'm boring. But that's not a problem other than that. So it's okay to yawn and to let that muscle relax. Breathing from the diaphragm, getting that part of your upper abdominal expand. Eventually you'll get into a big yawn. And you can repeat that and have several yawns in a row. And you'll see how you feel after. Very likely you'll feel extremely relaxed. That's a great sensation to feel. And the belly breathing, still great. In yoga, you have a lot of belly breathing. Like I mentioned, you have two. One where you expand the belly outward, and one where you get the belly inward. The belly inward, you will use the transverse abdominis. That's one of the muscles that is sucked in, which is not a bad idea sometimes. If you have your belly, if you have lower back discomfort, sometimes one thing that could aggravate is that position with the belly rounded out. But if you keep the belly in, you're gonna tilt the pelvis a little further in. And same thing, it's not something to hold, but it's something that might give you an option so that one thing rests while the other one gets fatigued, and one thing rests and over, where you change position, right? So you have the option to get it in. If you get it out, I think it can really help you relax all the tension that you might have in the abdominal Some people might have other reasons why they do that, but it's about comfort and sometimes about the reason behind. So don't get too confused in everything I said. Just try all three, or try one that you don't do usually, or at least pay attention to the one you do now. Awareness is the beginning of change, some say, so that could get you a little further. I hope this helps, and please share and subscribe. If you really enjoy this message, comment below so that I can know what kind of topic I can do for you. Sometimes it's all a matter of me knowing what you need to get better with, and I can help you with that if it's in my wheelhouse. That's what I do here with my clients in my studio. That's what I do as a massage therapist or as a coach. I help people with chronic pain. So those messages are actually from experience over a decade, and they can really make a difference. Even if they're like little tidbits of information, that can make a difference. Like 1% less discomfort in a day for some is actually huge. Hope this helps, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.